In this lesson, we're going to learn about the loop control statement. I want you to take a look at this example. We'll have a for loop. So here we have for num in range 5. Then I'm going to be printing out the num. So here we have print num. Now let me run the program. And as you can see from the terminal, we'll have 0 to 4. Now, under the loop control statement, we have the break statement, we'll have the continue statement, and we have the pass statement. Now let's start with the break statement. So here we have the break statement. With the break statement, we can be able to terminate our loops. So if I want to terminate this loop when num gets to a certain value, I can easily do so using the break statement. So here I can have if num is equal to 2. Here I'm going to provide the break statement. What happens is that immediately num gets to the value 2, this loop is going to terminate. And when it terminates, this statement is not going to execute. If I run this program, as you can see, we have 0 and 1. And the reason is because immediately the value of num is equal to 2, the loop terminates. And as such, this statement never gets to execute. Now, if I want to print out num before terminating the loop, I'm going to be moving this print statement before the break statement or before the conditional. So here I'm going to place it before the conditional. Now, if I run this program, we have 0, 1, and 2. So this statement is going to execute, and because the value is equal to 2, the loop is going to terminate. Now let's look at the continue statement. So here we have the continue. The continue allows us to skip iterations in a loop. So assuming I want to skip a certain value from displaying, I can easily do so using the continue statement. So here I'm going to change this to continue. Now, if I run this program, it seems like nothing happened. And the reason is because the continue statement came after the print statement has already executed when the value is equal to 2. So I'm going to move this print statement down. So if I run the program this time around, you can see that the value 2 is skipped. So continue statement allows us to skip iterations or certain iterations in a loop. Now, I may want to display only the even numbers. In essence, once a number is an odd number, I will skip the odd number. So here I'm going to have if num modulo 2 is equal to 1. So this means that the number in question or the value in question is an odd number. And if the number is an odd number, we'll continue or we'll skip. So once a loop encounters continue, the statements that follow the continue statement will no longer execute. Now, if I run this program, you can see that what we'll have here are even numbers. If I want to skip the even numbers, I'll change this to 0. If I run the program, you can see that what we'll have are the odd numbers. Now, finally, we'll have the pass statement. The pass statement simply means do nothing. It's more or less like a placeholder. So if I remove the body of this for loop and run the program, we're going to run into a syntax error. And the reason for this is because we are required to provide the body of this for loop. So in a situation whereby you are unsure of the logic to provide in your loop, you simply provide pass. So pass simply means do nothing. If I run this program, you can see that the error message has disappeared. So this is basically how we use the loop control statements in Python.